Hey, what's up? Unbiased Buckets here. With the projected top 2 picks in next year's draft in Victor Wenbanyama and Scoot Henderson having just faced off in the preseason and showing out, many teams wonder if they should tank for them. The answer is a resounding yes. With that said, which teams have the best odds at landing one of these two seemingly generational talents? Here are my picks. My first team is one of the most obvious picks in the San Antonio Spurs. With the Spurs having just traded DeJounte Murray to the Hawks for basically nothing, it's pretty clear that they want to tank. I mean, for God's sake, even their own coach doesn't think they're going to win. This overall means that they're probably not going to be very good next season, with their best player being Keldon Johnson. This also puts them in prime position to get a top 2 pick in next year's draft. And I really think this is exactly what the front office wants to do over in San Antonio. This is shown especially in their lackluster return in the aforementioned DeJounte Murray trade. As constructed, there's really no point in this team even trying to win, especially when they can get such good players such as Scoot Henderson and Victor Wenbanyama. Next up, I have another tanking team in the Utah Jazz. Although I do think the Jazz as constructed could surprise a few people, I really don't think it's in their best interest to win. This is obviously because of them trading their 2 stars in Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. These 2 trades have left their team really young and with a bunch of old players on bad contracts. They're obviously following that Oklahoma City Thunder rebuild plan, where they plan on tanking for the next few seasons and just gathering a bunch of draft picks. This really leaves just one obvious choice for them: tank for Victor Wenbanyama. Even if they don't land a top 2 pick, I think they have more than enough assets to trade up for that. It's pretty clear that the Jazz's front office just wants to tank for a star player. My next team is the Indiana Pacers. Although this team is not inherently tanking as of right now, I think it's pretty clear they want to. With them already having a really young team and them wanting to trade Buddy Hield and Miles Turner for assets, it's pretty clear that the front office is interested in tanking for a top 2 pick this year. And I think this is exactly what they should do, as not many star players sign in Indiana because, let's face it, Indiana is not really an ideal destination. This means that their one option to rebuild and become good again is through the draft. Moving on to my 4th team, I have the Houston Rockets. Despite the Rockets already having a really solid young core, I don't think they're going to be very good next season. This is mostly due just to a lack of development. This need for development in turn means that they're not going to be very good next season, as they're trying to develop their players to become good. This means that they have pretty high chances at landing a top 2 pick, and I think they probably should just go for it. The next team I think has a high chance of landing one of these 2 is the Orlando Magic. Despite them having the number 1 overall pick in Paolo Banchero, I don't see the Magic being very good next season. This isn't because Paolo's not going to be good, it's mostly just because the rest of the team really isn't that good. This probably means that they're going to have another losing season and are going to be near the top of the lottery again, in which case I think they should do whatever they need to do to get one of these top 2 picks. Adding one of these 2 will solidify their young core and make them an even scarier team for the future. And that goes for all 5 teams I've named so far. Alright, those were 5 teams I think should try their hardest to get either Victor Wenbanyama or Scoot Henderson. Please let me know if you agree, disagree, or if I'm an idiot. See ya.